All right, and we're back. Welcome to another episode of Pitch Picks. We got Championship Sunday coming up, but before that, me, Rudy, and Chief will all be at the DraftKings Sportsbook in Wrigleyville. Me and Rudy will be sweating out a Premier League title. Chief,
Mostly me.
yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. Chief, are you safe from relegation
Yeah,
yet?
I'm on the beach.
All right, so
Good.
he's safe, so he'll be drinking, enjoying life.
See you next year, boys.
I'll be sweating and praying, and if Arsenal does win, as I promised before, I will be popping bottles, and you do not want to miss a Nicky Smokes pop bottle night. Rudy, are you going to return the favor to the people there if City wins the league?
Sure.
Okay, so bottles are guaranteed to be popped, so you definitely want to be there at the DK Sportsbook in Wrigleyville.
Only if you drink it if we win.
I'll drink.
Sad drinking.
Yeah, sad drinking. Hey, being a Dolphins fan, I'm used to sad drinking. That does not bother me.
You know the rules, dude. Win or lose, we booze.
Win or lose, we booze. And everyone wanted to give me shit, but that's how I cope with things. When you have 24 years of being a fucking loser, this is how you cope with your emotions. I don't make the rules.
Also, side note on the win or lose, we booze thing. I've seen people on the internet be like, give players shit when they get like caught drinking after like a horrible loss. Let me tell you something right now. As a former average athlete, that is very much a thing.
Of course.
You don't cope shame people.
No.
If you need to go, sometimes you just need a slump buster. You get shit faced.
Absolutely.
Mind your business.
Reset.
Yeah.
Reset. If you don't want to drink, fine. But like, you're not allowed to drink. If you, what do you want them to do? Go home and like stare at a wall?
Right. No, and it's
Crazy.
crazy because you put in so much work the entire year. You're at practice. You're grinding. Your body's getting destroyed. Yeah, like the season's over. Did we win? Did we achieve what we wanted? No, but like fuck it. Like I'm gonna go have a fucking beer, look
Blow off a
back,
little
and
steam.
reflect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I wouldn't recommend this, but sometimes playing guilty is the best way to get out of a slump.
Fact.
What do you mean by that?
So playing guilty is, I guess, like a hockey phrase. I don't know. It's probably other sports, but playing guilty is like if you're just like in a slump, you can't figure anything out. You're kind of like gripping the stick too tight. You got the yips, whatever. You just go get fucking shit faced. Even if you have like practice or a game the next day.
Oh, so it's the night before a game.
You just go do it immediately, and then you play guilty, and you end up actually playing better because you're like, oh shit, I'm hungover. I need to make sure I'm playing good. It's
Focus
almost like a fight or flight response.
Mm.
And so yeah, playing guilty every once in a while works.
All right, I might have to try that out. What's today? Thursday. I'll try that out tonight, and then maybe I'll play
You don't
better
have a-
basketball tomorrow
Oh,
at the office. Yeah,
There you go.
I'm trying to drop a triple
I
double.
was like, what sporting event do you?
No, I'm retired, unfortunately.
You're gonna tweet guilty?
Yes, I do that a lot. That's my favorite thing to do.
That's a bad idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I have certain people at the office have my tweet notifications on, so like they're always looking out for me now. But that's a story for another day. We'll keep that private. Anyway, we had great Premier League games last week. Arsenal went into Old Trafford, held them off, beat them 1-0. City, on the other hand, I mean, I thought Tottenham came out with the sauce. I thought they were going to at least get a result out of that game. The first half, they looked amazing. And then at the very end, Son's one-on-one with the goalkeeper. I think it was like the 87th minute. 9 times out of 10, honestly 10 times out of 10, he's hitting that shot. Do you think Son missed that shot on purpose?
No, and the people saying that are absolutely taking a macro dose of copium.
They're rockheads.
Yes.
They are absolute rockheads.
Son is like one of the most unanimously loved players in Premier League history. He has 0 haters up until now. And the Arsenal fans being like, oh, he missed it on purpose, he missed it on purpose. I think it's 50-50 where people are just sort of memeing and want to have fun. That's cool. Then there's like the other 50% that are just like legitimately
Lunatic.
Dead serious.
lunatic, crazy, like miss it on purpose. It was a great save. Normally he makes those, but those are the moments that are incredible. Son doesn't give a flying fuck about doing petty shit like missing on purpose.
Yeah, but I think you could argue that him missing that shot makes him a bigger Tottenham legend.
If he did it on purpose,
You'd have to blatantly miss it.
Why would he blatantly miss it instead of just
He'd have to just
hitting
put
it
it in
off
the
the
corner.
keeper's leg?
Yeah. Put it in the corner.
dude, Ortega did the splits and cut down the angle perfectly. Like that in that moment, like there's no way. Now the funny thing to think about for me is that Son's away on goal. The whole thing before the game has been that is Tottenham gonna like even try, yada yada yada. Like the fans are saying all this shit. Like the fans being like, I don't want Tottenham to win. I understand that, but I know for a fact, like in the athlete's mind, that it went through his head. He was like, what if I just like threw this? And then he like out of his head. I think that was in his head real quick because it's like, how do you not think about that? And then out of his head real quick. Maybe that fucked him up. I don't think maybe he did on purpose, but I'd like to think that it crossed his mind as he was running in.
Had he hit that shot, do you think the game ends in a draw?
No.
You still think City wins?
City is such a machine this time of year. They find a way to pot another one, guaranteed.
Rudy, what do you think about that?
Yeah, it's tough to say because like everyone was saying that, and then we went and scored another one off a penalty.
Yep.
So even if he buries that hypothetically, but the butterfly effect, it happened after the fact. If the game was already 2-0, like does the game play out in the same way? Who knows? I don't know. I mean, I got to give credit to Spurs. Like they can't. I got to give credit to Ange and the Spurs because every time we've played them since Ange has been there, he does not play fucking scared.
Right.
Unlike you guys.
Dude, you see him giving it to the fans after the game?
I kind of
even during the game.
Yeah.
Dude, I kind of love that guy.
Me too.
I'm not gonna say when I watched that game, I said, "Wow, I have a lot of respect for that fucking manager."
Yep.
Chirping the fans like, "What the fuck are you guys cheering for? Telling us to lose the game? Like, fuck you."
Yeah.
And then after the game, he's like, "I had no idea like the situation I walked into. I didn't know these fans were that pathetic."
Yeah, and
Like that's basically what
Yeah.
he said in a nutshell.
and honestly, I keep sounding like a fence sitter. I get where the fans are coming from with like happy that Arsenal isn't winning, and I think both.
That's
I
not
think,
official yet.
I think both sides played their role well. Like I think Ange saying that is the right thing to say, but I'm not going to give a Tottenham fan any shit for like expressions. For example, I watched some clips of him where like Man City scored and he's like faking. He's like,
Oh.
that was funny as fuck, and I get
Yeah.
that. Like I'm never going to tell him that he's a loser for that. It's like.
Spurs fans couldn't lose that game because if
Yeah.
they got blown out, great, Arsenal season's over. If they won, it's like, oh, we beat City. We still have a chance at getting into the Champions League. It was a win-win for them.
Also, the other thing I want to say about Tottenham, people shit on City. That's fair. When you got the crown, everyone's going to shit on you. Everyone always accuses us of playing boring football. Tottenham and Ange proved that that isn't the case. People play us boring. When you sit back,
Yep.
we're going to hold the ball, and it's going to be boring. When you sit back with 10 guys in the box, it's going to be a little fucking slow. It's going to slow down. Ange is like, no, dude, we're going to try to go blow for blow for these guys. Let's get fucking psycho. And that game,
They almost had him.
Yeah.
Son even before that breakaway, was one-on-one with the keeper, and he almost chipped it right over him.
Totally.
It
Yep.
almost went through his legs.
Yep.
so it's not that Man City played boring football. It's that the teams, the best way to at least give yourself the best chance of at least getting a result is to back it up and batten down the hatches. But when a team with good players like Tottenham go for it, it's a back and forth game that's fun to watch.
Right.
So that's where I have beef with you guys.
Well, I mean, we went to the Etihad. We were just trying to get a result. That's
you
all.
got a result.
We got the result we wanted.
No, you didn't.
No, if you
If you win that game, you
we're not
win.
sitting in
If we lose
position.
that game, we wouldn't be in this position either.
Yeah, but dude, Ange, if
'Cause then
Ange
you
was
could-
in
you
this
could
room right
draw or
now,
win
he would
tomorrow.
call you a pussy.
Look, I'm not saying that. Bring that up with Mikel Arteta. Like, I ride with my guy. If he wants to park the bus and get a result, by all means.
Yeah, I mean,
You gotta
I
go.
get the
Well,
strategy, but
You know what we shouldn't have done is lost to fucking Villa.
Correct. But you also that is like a karma thing. Like that game was that was billed as a heavyweight fight, and you guys just did rope a dope for the entire game.
Well, they didn't do shit that whole game either. We had more chances on that than they did.
yeah,
on the
but it was
counter.
just on the counter.
Yeah,
Still better chances.
it was the same. It was the same thing. Like you guys played them the same way Forrest did. That's pathetic.
Yeah, that's
That's
true. That's a
pathetic.
good point, dude. You're Forrest, dude.
We're not Forest.
You
We're the
looked like
best
it.
team in the Prem.
I couldn't tell. It's red jerseys. I was like,
Yeah.
what are you playing?
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Rudy. I honestly think, like, despite what happens on Sunday, I think Arsenal's still the best team in the Premier League.
Well,
Well,
the math.
let's think about. Hold on,
says-
let's think about that real quick. So,
Most goals, least conceded,
yeah, but the thing is,
8 points between you and Liverpool.
Here's the
Neither
thing.
of you guys beat us.
You lost 2 more games.
Yeah, but
Villa,
the team in
the
the
one game I go to.
Yeah.
if both teams win on Sunday, then Man City's in first,
Mm-hmm.
Arsenal's in second.
Correct.
That would mean that
Typically,
Man City's the best team.
they have more points.
Right. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
I had
Yeah,
a
but
They
like-
lost fewer games.
But see, like, I'm not a math nerd, okay? Like, I'm glad you guys can
Yeah.
count in 3s and 2s and 1s. I'm just talking about watching teams play on TV. Arsenal's been much more dominant than City this year.
no.
Well, this is also not even decided. You said they had more goals.
Yeah.
Well, you got them by 1 goal right now.
Yeah.
That's it right now?
That's it.
What happened to that lead?
Your goal differential,
Dude, I'm telling you, man. In springtime, Man City is a different animal.
and you don't have more goals actually. Your goal differential is 1 better. City has more goals. They have 4 more goals.
I'm gonna cut that out. We've conceded the least. We got the best defense. Defense wins championship.
Well, that's what happens when you park the bus in the big game.
That was one fucking time. Whatever, Chief. I look, I still think whether Arsenal wins the league or if they finish second, it was a very successful season for them. Do you agree?
100%.
I'm surprised. I mean, you play for trophies. You guys haven't won dick in years, and you had it. You had it this year. That Arsenal shouldn't be like second is good enough. Arsenal is trophy or bust.
I don't think it's a second is good enough. It's just like Mikel Arteta said the other day. 27 wins. That hasn't been done here in 20 fucking years.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a huge step going forward. And the way the team's constructed right now, all these guys are staying.
Yeah.
They're only going to get better. They're only going to add more pieces in the transfer window. They're neck and neck with City. And bro, I'll tip my cap to City all day. What Pep's built over there is fucking outstanding. And for the longest time, no one's even fucking sniffed them. And now it's back-to-back years where Arsenal's taking them down to the wire.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like a bottle job this year, but it's still Arsenal, when you have the Invincibles and this great history, and you're second place.
But no, I'm not saying
second place, but we're kind of the best team. This is fucking loser talk.
Shut the fuck up, Chief. We're not content with being second. I'm just saying overall it was a successful season. The team grew. This team this year was better than they were last year.
I would agree with that.
And I think the team next year, depending on who they're signing, is going to be better than this team. Now, is that enough to dethrone Man City? Time will tell. But I think Arsenal had a very successful season this year.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, it's easy for me to say that as a Man City fan.
He's rubbing your belly right now.
Yeah,
he's rubbing your belly.
It's because he's comfortable. I got him right where I want him.
Okay.
He thinks the league's in his hand. He's looking at Arsenal. They're not as a threat, so he's being nice. I got him right where I want him.
It was a great season. It came down to the wire. They played well. The biggest learning curve I saw from Arsenal was that when you guys were in the Champions League for the first time in a while, your assholes were tight.
Yes,
and that's a good learning experience because I think that Arsenal's going to be very good. It's just.
Yeah, because look, obviously, I'm new to the game. I started really watching Arsenal in fucking January, but I could tell the difference immediately between them in the Premier League versus Champions League. It was night and day. Arsenal in the Premier League, dogs, savages, at your fucking throat unless they're at the Etihad. But then the second they went to Champions League, they did play like pussies.
Yep.
So I don't know if that was the learning curve or, hey, we're finally back on the big stage for the first time in a long time.
Could also just be more games. Your legs get gassed.
Yes.
You play 3 games a week, and it's tough.
Yeah.
So.
No, I agree with that. VAR potentially leaving the Premier League. How do you feel about that, Rudy?
People just need to pick their poison. If you get rid of VAR, there's going to be horrific decisions, and people are going to fucking lose their mind. Losing your mind over calls is a endemic feature of sports.
Yep.
So whether it's VAR or whether you just go down to the match officials, you're going to end up with the same result. People will get mad at they can do better and they will improve. It's a new technology. I get that. But the notion it's we got to get rid of VAR. In the stadiums, it's boring. It takes too long. Yeah, whatever. Okay, cool. But it still it saved a lot of bad decisions.
That's very true.
I would say it gets more things right than it gets wrong. Now, the ones it gets wrong are horrifying and terrible. But neither solution is going to result in the execution of horrible
It'll
calls.
never be perfect. It's like an umpire in baseball.
Yeah.
I'd rather the ump make the bad call than have some fucking computer dial it in with its little lasers to the exact fucking
right. So the argument is that if you want to get rid of VAR for the sake of the game is less exciting and it's more fun when the match officials have to make the call. I get that. That's fine. If you want to live in that world, that's cool. I get that. It slows the game down. It is fucking annoying. If we want to go back to the old school where it's just everyone on the field makes the decisions, whatever happens, everyone tries their best, I'm cool with that. The only real thing I would like to see different with VAR is that the tie should go to the scorer.
I like that in general.
Because there's been a lot of ones where it's a guy's fucking leg hair is ahead of, someone's
that part's infuriating.
Yeah.
And it's a guy who's 40 yards away from the ball, but he played him onside by his toenail. that should not influence the game. That should not influence that play. Like, that would have been a goal if he like turned his head the wrong way and his nose is facing the other way. They used to have like the whole the chant where Ozil's eyes are offside because they're like bugging out of his head. It's a great chirp. But I hate that not being able to celebrate a goal. They're always waiting for VAR. And then the thing about VAR that drives me crazy is like, how can you be shit at looking at a replay? Like, it's a replay.
It's
like
crazy.
It's with the baseball thing. It's like, hey, there's close calls. It's bang bang. Let's go look and see if that guy was safe at first. Like that. Like, you can just look at it and you can get it. This is like they look at it and they still get it wrong. Yep. So I'd rather slow the game down even more, because it feels like they don't want to piss off the match official. They don't want to hurt his feelings. Like, hey, you got that wrong, unless it's blatant. Just be like, hey, you might want to take a look at this. Let the ref who made the call initially go over to the screen. If we have an extra 10 minutes, 12 minutes sometimes at the end of the game, I don't care. Just get the calls right. To have the VAR in place and all the negatives that come with that, and then still use it and get it wrong. It's like, what are we doing? It's infuriating. Now, Force has been on the wrong side of those calls a lot this year.
You swear they'd be a top 10 team. If
not top 10. Our team fucking stinks. We're a disaster. I can't wait for the season to be over. Having said that, yeah, they would probably be in 14th if they had, I'm not saying top 10, but they would not have been sweating out games against Sheffield in May if they had gotten calls right. And like there have been multiple instances after the game where the refs were like, got that wrong. It's like, well, it's too late now. It's too late now. We just lost again. We blew another lead because you didn't call that penalty. You called that offside when it wasn't or was. And that part is infuriating. If you're going to have it, put in a system that allows the refs to actually get it right instead of being like, we have 15 seconds to look at this and we're doing it in a booth and that's it.
I don't get why the on-field referee is the one looking at the screen.
A lot of times he's not. It comes like, we checked it. Okay, it's fine.
But then with like penalties, he goes to the, he goes on.
Right. They'll like insist that
because in the NHL they just go to Toronto.
Yeah.
And the refs just wait for the word.
I also don't hate the whole the NFL system, college football system of challenges, where it's like, hey, we're just playing, and then you have like your own guy.
You think they should bring challenges?
I like the idea of a challenge. Yeah.
That would be kind of dope, but what would the penalty be if they got it wrong? You got to play with 10 men for like 2 minutes?
Yeah,
like a power play?
I don't know where you do that.
I don't know if you need a penalty for that.
I feel like you have to.
But if
you can't challenge it,
if you only have one, let's say you have one challenge a half, like it's like you just lose possession, I guess. Like, just give it to the other team. But like, I don't think there's so few moments in soccer where the game is in the balance that not getting a goal or getting a goal, I feel like is punishment enough.
What do you think of this idea? Just after listening to you two talk, I automatically went back to the American football brain that I have. So when a quarterback, if they're throwing over the line of scrimmage, all they need is one body part to be behind the line of scrimmage. Do you think the Premier League should do that, where if they have at least one body part behind the offsides line, that they're onsides?
I've blogged that. I blogged this during the World Cup, where I think that they would call that the determining edge. Like, what is the edge? Like, can you, like in hockey, when you drag your foot over the blue line to stay onside, can you do that with soccer too, where it's like, hey, like instead of having a toenail makes you offsides, maybe it's the other way where you give the advantage to the offensive player. Like, everybody wants more goals and more excitement. So if you give the advantage to the offensive player, the other problem with VAR is that the technology doesn't exist to make it perfect, because it's a split-second frame rate where they're like, oh, we think he's touching the ball here,
right?
But but he might not have made contact with the ball yet. So you're kind of just guessing of when that player played the ball versus where the forward position player was. So that part drives me crazy too, where it's like, it's not, that makes me think they should just get rid of it, because they can't even pinpoint exactly when
he made contact
with the ball. So then it's like, well, if you can't do that, then what's the point of this anyways?
Right. What do you think of that, Rudy?
The more I'm thinking about it is that in the end of the day, there's going to be bad decisions. And so I kind of would actually prefer not to have VAR, because then it just slows the game down and it's more fun when it's just the officials. If we're going to have missed calls no matter what, we may as well go back to the old school where it was more fun. Maybe you could institute it where like VAR isn't really involved that much unless it's like a horrifying miss. Like horrifying miss.
Which is where the challenge could come into play.
Right.
Yeah.
I kind of like the challenge idea.
Yeah.
I think it'd help out a lot.
Yeah.
But there should be a punishment.
Yeah, but people are gonna lose their fucking mind if
Yeah, they don't want their game to be fucked with, and I don't
Yeah.
blame them. But we're just trying to
Americify it.
Yeah,
I
we're
want
trying
playoffs.
to Americify it.
Yeah.
Speaking of American-fy, what is it?
Americify?
America-fy. America.
Yeah.
Wrexham moving up to League One. I love the show. It's been great. I mean, they really did turn that fucking team around. Do you think they have a shot at winning League One, going up the championship?
I think they can win League One. Championship is where it gets virtually impossible. But like this is like you can 3 promotions in a row is insane. It's been done in Italy. It's been done in other places. I don't know if it's ever been done in England to go from the National League to League to all the way up to the championship. But this is a spot where it's like if you spend a little bit of money goes a long way in League One. That won't happen in the championship. I like the story. I like them going up. So I hope it happens, and we'll see if Ryan Reynolds dips into his pockets even deeper to get like 5 or 6 more good players to put them in a spot. But I'm rooting for it. I'll say that.
I'd love it. What do you think of them, Rudy?
I don't know. I don't watch shitty football.
I do.
You should watch the show though. It's called Welcome to Wrexham.
No, I'm just kidding. I hope so. I mean, it's a really cool story. Chiefs right. Like once they get to the championship, the financials of the championship versus League One and League Two are vastly different, and it becomes much more difficult. Now they do have this marketing engine, and people behind them. And I also would like. It would be funny if like 2 American dudes, kind of like this show, like essentially like colonize soccer, where it's like, oh yeah, we'll just buy this team, it'll be fun, and then they just like raise them up, and it's like, what the fuck have you guys been doing over here for the last like 100 years? Like, get it together. We came over here and just bitch slapped this whole league.
Well, and then
it'd be iconic.
Yeah, we are both right with the championship. Like you look at a team like Sunderland, they got the massive stadium light. They have a billionaire owner. They're spending money. They finished 16th in the championship this year.
Damn.
Like they have all the resources that you would, in theory, need to push towards getting promoted to the Premier League, and they took a massive step backwards this year. And there's like you look at it, Millwall, Watford, QPR. There's so many like iconic like big clubs playing in the championship that aren't sniffing promotion. Wrexham's got one more level, and then it's the real work's going to start.
Yeah, it's kind of like, those nature documentaries where they show the turtles being born and they have to sprint to the water on the beach. Yeah, it's like you could have like the most perfect baby turtle.
Yeah.
It's got best
Look how
genes,
cute he is.
and it's like got a clear line,
Yeah.
and it's just like a fucking pelican comes
Yeah.
in its curtains. Like it's just like the survival rate is just it's so difficult.
Car comes by, runs them over.
Yeah,
Drunk smoke on the beach, steps on its back.
yeah.
That'd be brutal. Know what else would be brutal is Kevin De Bruyne potentially going to the MLS, Rudy.
I looked into this. I didn't see a single thing about
San
that.
Diego. San Diego is the rumor.
Kevin De Bruyne's not going to the MLS.
32
right
years.
now. He's 32 years old.
Mhm.
Oh my God! Yeah, no, he's definitely falling off. Dude, that is not happening. I don't know where. I think you guys are both trolling.
No, this is a story that's out there.
The MLS is like that pro golf tour, the
Live?
senior tour,
Oh, senior tour.
Yeah.
where like all the legends just go there to
it's
play golf
the
with their
first
buddies.
tweet on there. There's lots of rumors.
Oh, you showed me a tweet. Wow.
I mean, there's a ton. There's a ton. Where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah, a whopping 5 likes on that tweet.
There's 5 likes on the
how
tweet.
about this one? MLS moves 1,500 likes. There's
There
a
we go.
lot of verified accounts speculating. Okay.
I would be utterly fucking stunned if he did that. Utterly
I
stunned.
hope he
If he-
doesn't.
if
He's
he
probably my
leaves-
favorite player to watch. So I hope he doesn't go to the MLS.
If he leaves for the MLS, you have to get a tattoo of the San Diego team.
No,
Why don't you throw it on your leg?
no,
Come on.
no.
Be a sweet place to live.
Yeah, I mean, do you think he'd leave or no?
Not now.
What about in 2 years?
Maybe. Depends.
I
It's
mean,
like,
I watch him play now. I don't think he's out of his prime at all. I think
No,
amazing.
he's
I think he's your best player.
nasty.
It would
Yeah, I
be-
think so,
it would
too.
be-
From a Rotary.
truly stunning. And I can't imagine a world where that happens, and I don't want to imagine a world where that happens because he is crucial.
I think you're in.
If he
denial.
leaves, do you think the dynasty would die?
No.
No, they just pick up.
See the way he
somebody
fucking
else.
smirked and
They-
laughed?
They'd splash the pot with another 100 million, find somebody.
No,
else.
dude. Welcome Florian Wirtz, baby.
Yeah, that's probably what it would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jamal Musiala. Whatever.
What about Kevin Sullivan? USA boy, he's only 14, but he's going to join City.
Yeah, he looks cool. Swaggy.
Yeah.
This is the thing, dude. City signs the best players, but I'll tell you another thing. We do not sign ugly players.
I think Holland's pretty ugly.
in what galaxy?
He's a Viking, dude.
If he wasn't so good at football, do you think
Yes.
like he could have a career as a model?
He's 6'4". He has no blemishes on his skin. He looks like a Dragon Ball Z character.
Yeah, he is a Targaryen.
Yeah, I don't
Targaryen.
even want to call people ugly after my haircut.
He looks like Iniesta.
Yeah.
Look at that hair. That hair.
He was a legend.
Yeah, he was.
He's a legend.
Yeah.
All right, so it's time for the treble picks. So basically, we each give a pick here. We throw it in a parlay. We still haven't hit one, I don't think. Did we hit last week?
Shocker.
No.
No, I don't think we've hit one the
I
whole
don't think
year.
we sniffed one.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll start things off. I got Palace winning over Villa. I think Villa's happy enough that they got their fourth seed, that they're going to be playing in Champions League. Season's basically done for them. Crystal Palace, they've been in fantastic form. They're at home. I feel like if they win this game, it's a momentum game going into next year. I just think it means a lot more to them. So I'll take Palace at home.
That's a good pick.
They're rolling.
Yeah,
They're
they're like
red hot.
prime Barcelona right now. Elise is a
Yeah,
problem.
he's only 21 too. He might be a City guy before you know it.
Nah, I don't think so. Just because
That
we
spot
have
is
that
packed.
spot's
That's
filled, but
voted.
he is going to. Someone's going to pay a lot of money.
Yeah, I like that pick. I'm going Brighton. United is the most dead team that has ever died. They're a mess.
Defeated.
Brighton at home. Neither team has anything to play for. So in that situation, I'll go with a team that isn't a dumpster fire and has home field to end the year.
Rudy?
Do I? I didn't. I put down picks that weren't games. Is that okay?
That's fine.
All right.
I'll let you get. Well, I have one that's pretty much scratch and one that's kind of a moonshot.
We like
Give
the
me-
moonshots too.
Yeah, we like whichever one's your favorite.
Okay, and I actually kind of love this. So for the Man City West Ham game, last goal scorer, Julian Alvarez.
Holy shit, you're a legend. All right,
Plus
I need time to find this.
Because here's my reasoning. A
Well,
lot of the time.
Wait, who'd you say again? I'm sorry. Julian Alvarez. Okay,
Vamos!
last goal scorer?
Last goal scorer because
Wow, this just made the parlay so juicy. Go ahead, Rudy. Tell.
The reason
your
why is because if it goes according to script, a lot of the time he comes in at the end of the game, and there's usually like a penalty at the end of the game, and if there is a penalty, he's taking it. Even regardless of the penalty, if he comes in late in games, he pops them. Like he's pretty efficient. Like if he comes into a game, he's usually putting one in. So I'm assuming that he'll get subbed on for Holland, and then scores. So it's for plus 600. If Julian Alvarez gets subbed in the end of the game, that all of a sudden becomes very nice.
I like that. All right, so we got Crystal Palace money line, Brighton money line, Julian Alvarez last goal scorer. This parlay pays out plus 27.13. If you put $20 on it, you'd win $562. Obviously, odds are subject to change. We are recording this on Thursday, so the odds might go up, they might go down, but as of right now, it is plus 2,713, $20 to win $562. Not a bad day at the office.
Pretty
Not
good.
a bad day. There's also one other thing I wanted to talk about.
Shoot.
If you don't mind. Did you see? So Ederson's is out.
Yep.
Did you see that?
No.
He's out. He's
Okay.
not playing. He's officially ruled out. Did you see the alternate angle? Because you know he got hurt.
Yeah, he got fucking domed in the face.
So there's an alternate angle.
Wait. He's not playing on Sunday?
He's not playing.
Doesn't change anything.
Dude, we have Stefan Ortega, man of the match.
Oh my God, Pep bottling the
I
league.
want you getting your hopes up.
Pep bottling the league would be so iconic. Go ahead, Rudy. Let me hear you.
But they showed the alternate angle of it. He is out cold,
KO.
like legitimately
Okay.
dead fish, and they're like rolling him around. And then what people think happened was that it took weirdly a long time for the medical staff of City to get out there. By the time they got out there, he like came to and was like, I'm good.
Bell rung.
And then they got back to the sideline and they were talking more about it, or someone else said something, and then that's why Pep took him out. Turns out, I saw it. It hasn't been confirmed, but he fractured his face.
Dude.
That's
like
fucking crazy.
How do you miss that? So I was playing pickup basketball. This was years ago, and I went up for like a ball in the air. This guy was like an outlet pass, collided with this guy. He landed on his face, and I thought he was being like a pussy. He rolls over. His face looked like a Salvador Dali picture. Like
God.
half of his face, it looked like it was melting off. So I don't know how you fracture your orbital bone there, and no one knows. That's
wild.
That's crazy.
And I said when he went down, everyone was like, yo, leave him out there. He's our best keeper. I was like, bro, he might have a fucking concussion. Now that you think about it, you go back and watch that game, your backup came in and he balled, bro. He basically saved you guys the game. If you have a concussed goalie out there,
Yeah.
Son is definitely dusting his ass. Like, they're definitely letting
Dude,
one
he
of
might
back
have
in
been
the net.
facing the wrong way at that point. He didn't know where he was.
He might not even have a face on.
Yeah.
I do respect the shit out of Ederson for staying
Dogging
in,
it out, yeah.
dogging it out, and then
Hockey
even when
guy.
he gets subbed, he was like, "You got to be fucking kidding me."
Yeah.
That guy's an animal.
Yeah, he's a savage.
But
Adrenaline's one hell of a drug.
but it makes sense though, because during the broadcast they were not showing the replay because they were like, "We're not showing this," and I was like, "Oh, so this is like not ideal. This is almost like when he got kicked in the face by Mane. That shit was violent." But then it was like he got up, he was good. I was like, "Okay, cool, Gucci." This alternate angle, man. I'm telling you,
Bad.
You got to send me because I haven't seen it.
he is out cold. It's crazy.
It's like when the fighters get up in UFC after getting knocked out, they look at the rest like, "What the fuck do you mean? Like, I'm fine." I was like, "No, dude, like you're just fucking sleeping on the floor."
yeah. Why'd you call it? Why'd you call it? Yeah, it's like Monty Python. It's like it's barely a flesh wound. Your limbs are chopped off.
Gone. Yeah.
All right, last thing we got is the Super Dogs. If you're new here, we each give a pick that's plus 250 or more. Again, I don't think
Oh shit! I already lost mine.
I don't think
Well,
any of these picks have hit. You could use the same one.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal.
No, fine.
I'll start off for my Super Dog. I'm taking West Ham money line plus 1,700 to go into the Etihad, beat Man City, and help Arsenal win the Premier League. Chief, what do you got, buddy?
I mean, we might as well not give a pick because this is already an L. But I was going to say I'm going to take Brentford, Newcastle, draw. Brentford at home, Newcastle the better team. Neither team with a ton to play for. That feels like a 1-1 kind of like, well, let's just have a nice day out at the park and we'll share the points.
They're basically just sipping brews on the pitch.
Yep.
You get one, I get one, you get one, I
Call
get
it a day.
one. I like that. Did you find one, Rudy, or you want to use
Yeah, I kind of. I mean, like the Julian Alvarez one was my big moonshot, but I'm trying. It's kind of a troll pick. Dude, imagine if Liverpool loses in Klopp's last game.
That would be. I was looking at that too. I was at home.
plus 1,200?
Yeah.
It just feels.
Just do the math on that
There's
one.
just
So if
a
we
feeling, isn't there? Where
Yeah.
like I love Klopp. I love your Klopp.
yeah.
But like, there's just like this weird feeling where it's like he's already sputtered through the end and.
this parlay is.
If you parlay Wolves money line and West Ham money line, it pays out plus 23,300. So if you put $10 on that, you'd make $2,340. I think I'm gonna put a ticket on it just for the
For
fucking
sport?
just for the plot. Yeah.
Yeah.
If I were making a real pick, I would put Aston Villa because they're still a very good team.
Yeah.
And
They're great.
Crystal Palace at some point probably will.
All right, so you'll just fade my pick. That's cool.
Huh?
No, that's fine.
Is that what you said?
Yeah, I gave
Oh,
up
my
Crystal
bad.
Palace.
Yeah.
Well, we're two smart guys.
It's fine. Yeah, you might be smarter than me.
No, we're equally smart.
Yeah. Is there any game that we all agree on one side so that people could bet the other way?
I feel like Rudy's a sharp here though.
Yeah, or he
Kind of
or he
throwing
could
off
just
our
be a
vibe
fucking.
of just getting everything wrong every single pick.
I know.
Don't say that. Do not say that. I think that we're all actually in agreement on Brighton beating Man United.
Yeah. I
Okay,
think
so there you go. So
Yeah.
United plus 205 is probably your best bet
That's
this
the
week.
play.
That'll wrap up this episode of Pitch Picks. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. If you know anyone else that loves the Prem, send them this video. It helped the channel out immensely. And we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for watching.